Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Swiss round matchup featured here on Speed Gaming 3 between jkoper and madbomberxx. I'm Furious K, and joining me tonight is Vanny Van, and we have a tracker tonight, Drunk Fox, as well.
All right.
How you
Hello,
doing,
everyone.
Vanny?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good. All right. Looks like we're already started here. What is the world record for this seed? It looks like is going to be our. It's going to be the phrase that we're going to be seeing over and over again. And the reason why we're going to see that over again is one of the unique flags for these seeds is that you are not going to be able to understand what anyone is saying, quote unquote, until you have received the book. So that's going to add a very interesting strategic element to this to see if they want to hunt that down so they can get those hints if they feel like they need them. All right, it looks like jkoper's already found the Armos item. It was a heart container here in the northeast.
It's not exactly what he wanted to find, but at least he knows what the item is, so he won't have to keep looking.
I mean, and he did it less than a minute in, so he can at least check that off already. He goes ahead and nopes out of that staircase. Gets the candle. Now he can make the world burn. Mad Bomber taking an early death. Not too far from start though, so doesn't really punish him all that much. See, jkoper is adept with doing screen wraps using the Trogdor sprite.
Yeah, it takes you a little while for each sprite you decide to use.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine that this one is probably pretty easy because it has, it is a sprite that has the shield in front of it, and I think a lot of people use that as the visual cue as opposed to something like, let's say, the Lionel that doesn't have a small shield that it holds, so you would have to adjust to something different. Alrighty. Mad Bomber just got a big stack of cash. Now he's going to start to bomb into some places here, now that he can. Has found the magical sword right here by the corner of this lake. Obviously, he's going to have to nope out of that. Regarding that magical sword, as far as how it relates to this seed, there's going to be a variance of in 2 hearts in both directions for picking it up, meaning that it could be anywhere from 10 to 14 heart containers required before you can grab it.
It typically does not come into play with the 5 Triforces needed in this flag set, but sometimes you can gather the hearts.
True, yeah. If you really, let's say there's that one item you need, bow, silver, something like that, and you just keep digging through dungeons, and you just happen to keep stumbling across plenty of heart containers, it could come into play. It's more important for the white sword item, which you need anywhere from 4 to 6 heart containers, to get. So that will most likely come into play. Both of our racers here still looking for a sword. jkoper's found a meat shop. That could come in handy. And right on cue, so does Mad Bomber. Alrighty. jkoper's going to make some good use of these any roads here. Oh, one into the graveyard. That's handy. All right. jkoper's going to check Vanilla 6, and will lose money for his troubles. Oh, he is just pinned in there with no way to defend himself except for one candle blast.
Yep, it's going to be the way it is until he gets lucky and stumbles upon a sword.
Yeah, and I've noticed that jkoper has yet to gain any bombs either, so his exploration options, especially up in this section, are extremely limited. This is definitely a place where you want to have as many bombs as possible up here in the northwest.
It's just going to be a question of whether or not the wood sword is all the way in the Deadwoods, the complete opposite side of the map, or if it's going to be somewhere more free and accessible to the runners quicker.
Yep. Oh, gamble and win. GG, jkoper. That was very fortunate. I think he only had 10 rupees going into that, so if that would have been a bust, then he would have been flat broke. Here he is clipping backwards into the vanilla blue ring shop area. And he's got to, I mean, these are the prime spots to look for that sword. There's a whole bunch of free entrances over here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so wooden sword is in the vanilla blue ring shop.
Yep, and that's a good strategy he used to find that wood sword too.
Exactly.
You don't want to get chased by the Armos. You just want to smack him, run down to the bottom of the screen, and wait to see if the staircases open up or if it's in the last one.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mad Bomber is nowhere near that spot, especially after dying and having to go back into the forest in the southeast. So the hunt continues. Meanwhile, I'm not sure that either of them have found any of the levels yet, any of the dungeons.
I certainly haven't seen one yet.
Yeah. So this is a pretty interesting start to this seed. Oh my god. There we go. All right. jkoper's going to try and burn his way through a lot of places here just to find some. Oh, and he finds level 8. 8's a pretty good dungeon to find early. Not only does it have 2 items, but it doesn't have too many rooms compared to certain other dungeons, like 7, to navigate.
Yeah, the issue with 8 tends to be that you have a lot of the boss enemies within that dungeon.
True. So jkoper's all the way in the bottom left corner of 8. And meanwhile, Mad Bomber has found level 2. This is also a decent one to find early because there's no staircases that you have to worry about either for the item or warping. So pretty much everything is connected. And there's a floor item here. So oh boy, dealing with these blue land molas when you are this squishy usually takes some special tricks, which you see jkoper employing here. He has block clipped into the block. The land molas cannot touch him. However, as long as they come nearby him, he can stab at them with his sword in complete safety. Boy, when you're walking around, those land molas are all over you, but when you're in the block, they just like to dance around on the other side of the screen. Fantastic.
Yep, I believe you can influence them by turning your character around, but it's a bit of a tough go if you're on top of the block, as you can fall off the block.
jkoper got a little greedy there, tried to go out and get him, and he got bit, and he will now have to start over for his troubles. Oy. Oh yeah, someone is asking in chat why on jkoper's side, why did it say Asylum 8? That is just a little cosmetic flag that you can change. It can say level. I've seen it say act. I've seen it say board, asylum, obviously. So it's just something you can choose to do. Alrighty. Mad Bomber is heading over to the west here. He is. Let's see if he decides to go up to that vanilla blue ring shop, and if he does, he will be rather pleased, and he's not. He is going to go east and south. He's going to check this one down here. Hopefully that's all he does there, and then another heart container here for jkoper. It's always good.
Yep, it gets him one step closer to the white sword item if it was not low rolled into 4 hearts.
Exactly. Oh, and he's still not going up to that vanilla blue ring shot. Well, unless he turns right here. No, I think he's going to maybe refill his health. Alrighty. And I'm getting a note here. It looks like we might have missed this. I think Mad Bomber might have seen it, that the vanilla white sword spot was the white sword item, and it was the raft. Ah, there we go. He has got his sword now. That's got to be such a relief.
Looks like it's the vanilla wood sword cave that has the white sword item for the seed.
And on the coast, we just saw jkoper saw the power bracelet there. So that could very well be a required item, depending on if there is a level or something like that buried under a feat of strength spot.
Yeah, it can quickly turn the seed into one of the fetch quest seeds where you have to get the ladder to get the power bracelet to potentially get like the bow or the silvers to be able to beat the game.
Exactly. Alrighty. jkoper also finding level 2 here on the southern part of the coast.
Yeah, I anticipate he's going to try and dig out the item in this level for sure, given how easy it is to kind of get around in the level.
Indeed. Just a few Gibdos here for him to kill. Oh, shoot, his... Yeah, his stream kind of lagged for a little bit. I did not see if there was anything there in that Gibdo room that was of any note.
Yeah, I thought I saw the key count go up, so that'd be my best guess at it. But we'll know for sure based on whether or not he goes for a Triforce if he finds it.
Can't go up there. He's raft blocked there. Ladder blocked there, and he's ladder blocked here as well.
Yep, and the heart he won't be able to get until he finds the ladder, so doubtful he'll ever see that one again.
Now again, because we haven't seen... Oh, I suppose if it's in the Gibdo, then it can't. That wouldn't be the floor item. Never mind. So there is a heart container that is in an enemy, but still looking for that floor. Oh, and there it is, sitting right there, the step ladder. What a find! And he is going to keep going here. See if maybe he's already gone through at least half of this dungeon. I would say he's going to see if. Maybe he can find himself a glowing triangle.
Yep, Mad Bomber found the ladder as well, but on very little heart, or very little health, excuse me, he couldn't make it through. But he's going to be trying to get back in there.
Oh, I see. He got into the room but was not able to grab it.
Nope, the landmiller said no.
Gotcha. There it is, and he now has it. And jkoper bombed down out of this room. Oh, and Mad Bomber's going to bomb up out of this room. I don't know if jkoper went this way. Okay, nothing there. No point in pushing those blocks. There's no stairs to discover here on level 2. But... yeah. One thing to also note there, you saw Mad Bomber bombing to the right to no avail. That's because these dungeon, the dungeon shapes are vanilla as far as the general shape of the dungeon. Of course, all of the rooms, their contents, and their doors and whatnot are indeed randomized. So bombing to the right there at the very right edge of level 2 was not going to get him anything.
Yep, sometimes you get lost in the heat of the race. It's the first tournament race, and a little bit of nerves probably kicking in.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it only cost him 1 bomb. That's not the end of the world at all.
Yeah, he's madbomberxx. He's going to get a whole bunch of bombs this
I
season.
was going to say, he seems to have an affinity for bomb. Ooh, there's the compass. Oh, wow. jkoper now has to go all the way back up to the top of this level. And he's just going to up an A, which was smart, gives him some hearts, and gets him up a couple rooms. All right, and he is just going to scoot his way up. Mad Bomber taking another death. All righty. Looks like it's just a couple more rooms here for jkoper, and we will have our first Triforce get of this race. It was indeed ladder blocked, so convenient that the ladder would be in level 2, where this particular Triforce was indeed blocked by it.
jkoper is a pretty good player, so he probably doesn't need the heart container, but I am a little surprised he didn't deviate for the 10 seconds it may have taken to get that heart.
Sure. So Triforce number 1 goes to jkoper. He will need 4 more of those before he can get access into 9. Only 5 of the 8 Triforce pieces are required. You can gain more if you would like, but it will do you no good except for the free heart refill. Thank you. Javeth just posted into chat the details of the Swiss flags that are going to be used for the Swiss round of this tournament. Once we get into playoffs, there will actually be 2 different changes to the seeds there that he will be making. Very quickly now, jkoper is into level 6. He's going to dig around here for a bit. Mad Bomber obviously saw the Triforce and walked right past it and is now killing all of these Gibdos. I wonder if this is worth the investment in time. He already has the item. Maybe he missed the heart container. I don't know if he grabbed the one in here, so that's the only thing he could be searching for.
Yep, my knowledge of 2 would lead me to believe that he is just doing this necessity for keys. Level 2 tends to have a lot of floor drops that have keys for you in the vanilla game.
Wow, he's throwing all these bombs on the walls, and that is going to be to no avail. Again, for what we mentioned before, he's going to take his triangle and be done with this dungeon. Or at least I hope so. There's really not much more reason to be digging around in here, so we'd like to see him press on. Meanwhile, jkoper finds himself in a reverse C room here with a whole bunch of Pole's Voice. Has to kill them with his wood sword. This can be very time consuming. Makes a slick little move to get through that Pole's Voice during its iframes to avoid damage in that narrow corridor. Alrighty. Oh, never mind. Mad Bomber's back into level 2. He is... There we go. He's found the compass. That does him 0 good. Oh boy, he burned a key. Oh, and he just used his last bomb and he missed the Dodongo. Oh boy.
Yep, not quite sure exactly what he was going for if he's burning the keys in there now.
Yeah, I mean, and he is completely out of resources. I mean, and save for the heart container, if he hasn't grabbed it yet, there is nothing more in this dungeon for him. Meanwhile, jkoper is trying to strategically place bombs to do damage to these Dark Nuts. Because, again, fighting them with a wooden sword can be a pain. So bombs definitely make that easier. And he gets more bombs for his troubles. How about that? And here's a hint that he has no idea what it is. blue dark nuts in a 4 cannon room. Jkoper's going to say, no, thank you. This time the pancakes eat back. Aha. Now I think that might have been the staircase he came out of, because I know he started this dungeon in the very upper right corner of it. So I think that was the other end of the that staircase tunnel.
Yep, you have it correct.
Okay. So jkoper knows this is a pretty linear part of level 6. Gets that Triforce. Ooh, or the compass, excuse me. Now he knows the Triforce is nearby.
Yep, the direct route is key blocked until he finds another key. Maybe he can bomb around.
Yep, sometimes you got to get creative. This room is worth the extra... Oh, maybe not. Thought that might be worth the extra few seconds to kill everything, just in case there might have been a key or even a heart container on the floor there. Getting those keys isn't too much trouble. Bombs appeared under those traps, but he's pretty much full. Oh, he's got to clear this room out if he wants his Triforce. But we're still checking for the... I don't think he's found the item in 6 yet.
Nope, he's got about 4 or 5 rooms left to check.
Yeah. So he'll go ahead and save this room for the end. He knows... He's going to grab those bombs now. Why not? He knows where his ultimate goal is. Oh, Dig Dogger. Can't do anything to him. But that's okay, because there was not a staircase there. In 6. The item in 6 is under a staircase, not on the floor. And there were no blocks in that room, so no point in messing with the Dig Dogger that doesn't need to be messed with. Oof. Yeah, I think I just saw the map real quick. I think there's only 2 rooms he hasn't been in yet. One is below and one is to the right. He's got to hope that that item is in the one to the right, because otherwise fighting all these dark nuts. Oh, and it's not. Oh boy. So he knows if he wants the item in 6, he has got to clear out that room, and he looks like he might be saying napes. He might just go...
Well, as long as it's not a right-hand staircase, there's a decent chance he could get in from a different angle.
Oh, this is true. Never mind. I just assumed with that shutter door he had to go down that way, but good to know that he can just walk right in here. I'm surprised he didn't check this earlier. I mean, it's only 3 Pole's voice. It's not terribly time-consuming to clear this out, just to do a check on the way. I mean, this has got to be the item room.
Yeah, I think he went down to the staircase earlier and just took that staircase, which is why he didn't realize that this room had the item.
There we go. What does item 6 hold for us? It holds the magical key. That's always a nice find, especially early. And considering that jkoper has 0 keys, he will take that gladly.
Usually I find the key when I have 5 or 6 of them, but he gets lucky with 0 and now doesn't have to worry about it.
And he is not even going to go back and get that Triforce. I guess he's just going to save that for later?
You can either save it for later when you can get back to it quickly and easily, or you can just pick a different dungeon that has an easier room to clear.
Far be it from me to question jkoper's strategy. So, but he is deciding not to get it. Lost in what we were talking about there with jkoper was the fact that madbomberxx discovered level 1. He has also discovered that if he wants that raft, he is going to need 6 heart containers to get it, because he had 5, tried to get it, and the old man said, "That's not enough, sir."
Yep, he's being stingy on his requirements today.
Yep. Alrighty. jkoper bombing spots up here in the northeast. He now knows where the magical sword is as well. I believe Mad Bomber discovered that a while ago, so that was knowledge he already had.
I don't know if it's really a tough room for jkoper chat, but it was definitely a time-consuming room. And if it's quick to access later, he can just go right back to that with maybe a white sword.
We saw Mad Bomber buy a hint there, despite the fact that he has not discovered the book. So he just coughed up some money to hear the same thing he's been hearing for this entire seed about world records and stuff. Yeah. Oh, nice job by jkoper to pin that Lionel down with the fire while he was in that corridor and he didn't get stabbed in the back. All right. Up. There we go. Mad Bomber now has a candle. That's always a good feeling. Alrighty, we are going to take the designer intended way up to Vanilla 5. Ooh, big rupee find there for jkoper. He's now maxed out. Mad Bomber throws some flame at the at that merchant in disgust.
Looks like jkoper is going to utilize his ladder to go ahead and pick up the power bracelet.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of the stream kind of froze for a second there, but I would assume that if he was going to make that trip over to the coast, that he did so, that he wasn't going to walk away from there without grabbing that power bracelet. Oh, Mad Bomber now has the letter. Ah, jkoper has discovered 9.
Yep, it's at the Desert Open Cave.
In a free spot, no less. And now that he has that power bracelet, he's going to go ahead and shove that rock and discover a bottle shop. I imagine jkoper's going to start burning through trees here, and he's going to find level 7 right near Vanilla entrance, or Vanilla start, I should say.
Yep, Mad Bomber used his paper to find relatively similar to normal potion prices, I believe.
And now Mad Bomber knows where level 6 is as well. Alrighty. Oh, already finding a staircase. I assume he's just going to clip his way in. He's not going to kill those enemies. It is a corridor. Not the item, which is indeed under stairs here in 7. Oh, man.
That's quality.
That stinks. That put him into a room at the very tip of the nose of the dragon in that map, where we knew that there was no other direction for jkoper to go. Oh, gets an extra heart container. And now if he just moves one screen to the left, he can go ahead and pick up that raft if he would like.
Yeah, he's so close to it, you'd think he'd probably go there even after the power bracelet check here.
I don't recall if he even saw what was there. But he finds level 3. And he's all the way at the bottom corner, so this will be pretty linear for him. I expect, especially with the magical key and full bombs, that he's going to go ahead and dig this out for pretty much everything, at least the item and the Triforce.
Yep,
because there's so few rooms in here, it's pretty easy to clear. There's our container. This
does kind of set up the scenario I was talking about, though, where you get the ladder, you get the power bracelet, you get into a dungeon. That might be the dungeon you need to clear to actually find the items you need to get in and finish off the game.
Indeed. Oh, that's right. This wasn't a power bracelet spot, wasn't it? This entrance.
That is correct. It was.
Yeah. Oh boy. Boy, how smart are you going to feel if there's like silvers in here or something like that?
I mean, you just kind of take what the game gives you, and you're like, well, I mean, that's the way it's going. It may,
well,
may just
you can also pat yourself on the back if you make a good call too. Like that's okay.
I'm just waiting for somebody to find the blue boomerang and ignore it so I can call the run invalid.
All right. Alrighty. So jkoper's cleared out pretty much the right part of this.
And there's the standard horizontal chute that you would normally find in 3, so that hasn't moved.
Yep. Mad Bomber is also in level 3 himself, but unfortunately, you see, he has no keys. So as far as going up that way, which is the only way to advance in this dungeon, we know, just because of its shape, he either needs to find a key or he needs to just get out of here.
Yep, the alternative, which is really difficult in a Pulse voice room, would be to try and Kananaki it. So I'm not surprised he's leaving.
Boy, this is something that really bugs me with this seed, is when you have a why am I blanking on the name of this boss here that jkoper's fighting?
It's a manhandler.
Manhandler, thank you. When you have a manhandler where the its little clapper hands do not die to one bomb blast, you need multiple blasts. That is that's not fun, especially when you have a wood sword and a green tunic. Oh, but I got a map, so now he definitely knows where he's going.
I'm more amused by the fact that I believe that was the manhandler in its vanilla dungeon, in its vanilla room, even though it's not the same spot.
Yes, that is all very true. Not in the spot though. In vanilla, he's over on the right side of the manji, but yes, it is one of those sand floored rooms, so that is very true. Alrighty, jkoper there's not too many more places that he needs to go here to find what he needs. Just gonna do some quick kills of these little Zols here, or these old gels, to see what's on the floor here. Bombs he doesn't need. He really doesn't want to pick those up, so he's just gonna clip his way through. There you go. Very good. Well, there's the item.
And because this is 3 and this is a right-hand staircase, the chances are that this is going to drop an item or a Triforce or something along those lines.
Well, look at that. One-stop shop. Get your item and Triforce all in the same place. Oh, it's the bow! Oh my goodness.
Now I'm going to pat myself on the back.
There you go. GG Fury. Well done. Go ahead and pick up that triangle. No reason why you don't. That is now 2 for jkoper. Only item left that we know he really needs to get is silvers.
One of the things I hate the most about the randomizer is when it puts something like a Lionel on the raft spot and it just keeps bopping you and walking up into you and knocking you back.
That's happened to all of us many times. And it is unpleasant every single time. Alright, so jkoper now has his raft. We will see if he puts it to use. Alrighty. Speaking of putting the raft to use, it looks like Mad Bomber is going to use it for the raft launch in the northeast here. And jkoper has discovered level 4. Oh, at least it's something useful here. He gets some money. That's good. Not a total waste. Alrighty. Ooh, I love it when you get those chimes and those sounds when there's lag in there, and it just just drags along. Here's a reverse C. Let's see if jkoper tries to clear this out or if he just keeps pressing on. Looks like he's going to go down instead. All right. Is he going to keep going right? Appears to be doing that.
Looks like he's in a tea room from the way he had to clip that.
And the fact that he knew that without even having to put the candle in there, that should underscore just how much, that's just a fine example of how much knowledge of this game that jkoper has. Ooh, if you notice, those bats did not die to a single fire blast either. These bats are
plus
not...
2 keys.
Yep. I don't think anybody likes those. When your boomerangs just bounce off of them. That's not a good feeling. Here we go.
You get the iframes, but you don't get the satisfaction of knocking them out of the air.
Never mind. That block cannot be pushed. Was hoping maybe it would be that easy to find the item. But no. I'm surprised he hasn't gone down, considering how linear it is to just wind through that bottom part of the level. Maybe his nose is leading him in a different direction. Boy. Ooh, well, he found himself a Triforce, and with only 1 heart of life left, probably a good idea to pick it up. So that's now 3 Triforce pieces for jkoper.
Yeah, I would say if you find the Triforce and you have a lot of heart containers already and find it in, say, the first 3 or 4 rooms, you usually just want to take it, get a beam sword, and see if you can't excavate a little quicker.
Exactly.
The alternative is just to wait until the end, but I prefer having him for the dungeon I'm trying to clear.
Absolutely. And we see as soon as he picks up that Triforce, he heads right back in to level 4, and now he is going to head south. And I believe this is going to net him an item. We're going to say nope to Gleeok here. You are not my real boss. Another Gleeok. Gleeok's in adjacent rooms. Thank you, Rando.
Well, as long as it's not a Gleeok in a push block room.
This is true. Speaking of push block rooms, I believe this is going to have to be the one where the item is. And there's only just traps in there. What's he going to get? A magic boomerang. Actually, he's not going to get it.
Yeah,
he's going to get the heck out.
He's just going to invalidate his run right now.
Alrighty, so level 4 is now done. And right on cue, Mad Bomber has discovered level 5. It's right there next to Vanilla 6. jkoper putting his stacks of cash to good use, getting a blue ring. Now Trogdor is a lovely, deathly shade of gray. Getting his money back 3 rupees at a time. There you go. All right, let's check this raft spot here. Let's see what this holds for us. If those Lionels aren't going to be too jerky.
Well, it's not getting into this that's the pain. It's what's coming up next.
Exactly. But jkoper was wise. He cleared out the majority of those Lionels so that his return trip would be much easier. Now he's going to opt to get a potion here. He's going to forego the heart container there. I don't believe that jkoper has the letter, so and with only 2 Triforce pieces and silvers between him and go mode, I don't blame him for picking up that potion instead.
Yep, certainly with the blue ring purchase that he already made, he's already reduced his damage to half damage. Not surprised at the potion.
Yeah. one thing we haven't talked about, and we just saw it there in that shop, is the bait. Now, there is going to be a bait room in one of these dungeons here. I actually just played a seed earlier tonight where the bait room was in level 9, and I did need to use the bait to get through it. So you never know where it's going to be. But speaking of where we be, jkoper be in level 1, where he finds a heart container right away, then the compass.
Also,
jkoper already bought bait. I missed that. Thank you for pointing that out.
might I mention that Fred's randomizer has placed vanilla 1 and 1 on the same spot this time.
Yes, that is indeed true. I believe Mad Bomber discovered the location for 1 quite some time ago. All right, jkoper is going to, I guarantee he's going to turn right around after he kills these guys. Or maybe he will. Employ that strategy of not having to deal with that blue wizrobe. Let's see if he goes back down. Oh, never mind. Okay. He might save that for later. Probably doesn't feel like dealing with that blue. Oh, boy. Kind of hope the item wasn't on the floor there.
Mad Bomber's still thinking about this late and whether or not he wants to try and get through it and find some items.
Yeah. All right.
But unless he finds a staircase, he's not going to get too awfully far with that Goma blocking the way.
No. Boy, and those... All right, here comes one of the items here. Silver arrows. Okay. jkoper is loaded now. He just needs 2 more Triforce pieces. I believe he discovered where 9 was. So we could be we could very well be in go mode very soon here.
Yep, I anticipate he's going to go ahead and pick up the Triforce here in 1 if he can get to it, and then go straight back to 6 and clear that iffy room that he saw earlier, just because he knows where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, he does know where it is in 6. Absolutely. Might as well clear this out. Maybe it drops, I don't know, the red ring or something, or a heart container. Oh, no, he already got the heart container. Never mind.
Yep, he's written for a red ring or white sword probably by clearing that room.
That's pretty much the only other thing that he could use at this point.
And that was a drop room, but it looked like he just skipped out of it. Well, maybe he's going to go back real quick.
Malagord in chat making a good point here that the Triforce room in 6 did have Pole's voice in it, and considering that jkoper now has bow and arrows, that will make clearing his way through that room extremely easy. All right, that is Triforce number 4 for jkoper. Yes, the heart container. Oh, but the heart container could be the item. That's true. But we're not going to know because it looks like jkoper has left level 1 in his rearview mirror for good. Oh, Trogdor, please. Screen wrap. There you go.
When you get hyped that you're in go mode, sometimes you just lose the ability momentarily to play a screen scroll game.
to do things that I'm sure jkoper has done thousands of times. Effortlessly. Excuse me. Here we go. He's just rapping.
The good news is we do see Mad Bomber. We do see Mad Bomber going into 1, and we do know the silvers are in level 1, so hopefully he'll find his way up there.
Good. He can kill that Goma and get through now. That's nice.
I guess the benefit to going to 8, thinking about it a little bit, is that he does not know the items in level 8, so if he sees them along the way, the staircases, he can kind of check and make sure that there isn't a free white sword or red ring somewhere on the way.
Sure, absolutely. Wow, all the Gomas in this level. Wow, this is crazy. That's 4 that we've seen. All right, what's in here? A corridor. A gliok to which nope will be said. All right, Mad Bomber is making his way through 1 here as well. Let's see what he discovers. Okay, and we're checking. Hey, we'll take it. We'll take that red ring.
Yep, this is why jkoper beats me a lot in races. He makes these decisions that I would not have. I would have gone to 6. He goes to 8, and now he's taking 1/4 of the damage that he would take.
Well, and you know, just I had kind of forgotten where 8 was and where he came out of. Where he came out of level 1, his walk to 8 was not terribly long. So there's a Triforce sitting right on the floor. That is piece number 5. It is go time for jkoper. He's going to make a beeline to level 9, and then we'll have plenty to talk about once we get there. Alrighty.
Man, I hate when the blue Wizrobe decides he wants to go diagonal on you just as you're walking into that prime spot.
Yep. I think we all have blue Wizrobe stories. And there's level 9 right there. I mean, so we are just cruising right along. All right, so level 9, like we said before, you only need 5 Triforce pieces to get into here. And obviously the care that went into collecting the bow and the silver arrow was indeed because you are required to kill Ganon in this seed. And then on top of that, you're going to need to find Zelda too. She will not necessarily be in a room adjacent to where Ganon appears. Where she will be is in a room behind a shutter door. Now, if you kill all the enemies in the room on the other side of the shutter door, it will still not open. That is your indication that Zelda is behind that door. Another indication, if you haven't found her yet, but you've already killed Ganon, is if you walk into a room with enemies and a shutter door closes and immediately opens, you know all you need to do is go right through it, hit a couple couple of columns of fire, grab your Zelda, done, and GG.
Yep, what he's going to have to be careful about now, though, is he's got to manage his silver arrow usage, as he's down to just 5 rupees.
This is true.
You don't want to make the mistake of walking into Ganon's room, killing him, only to realize that, hey, I don't have... Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of him...
Oh, did we hear him?
Yep, in the tea room, we could hear him.
Wow, okay, so that's good knowledge. Let's see if he goes back into that room. Oh, shoot. I lagged out real quick. I wanted to see what doors were in that room.
Shutter to the left.
There's a shutter to the left.
And by process of elimination, Ganon is not to the right because he went up the M column.
Ah. Alright, jkoper's going to use a potion here. He really, really wants to get in that door. But having to fight these blue Wizrobes in all these tight quarters is not fun. So, but it's worth the effort. Alrighty. I see that Mad Bomber has collected the compass for level 1, so he knows where that Triforce is. But unfortunately, he takes a death. No, that is not Ganon. So perhaps Ganon was above.
He uses his last bomb in the room that he got shuttered in.
And he's going to need a bomb to get to Ganon from there if he wants to do that. All right, he up an ace.
No, he didn't quite up an A, but it's the same difference.
What did he do then?
The wall master decided he was going to come out of the wall and just grab him.
Oh no. Okay. Well, all right. That's another way of doing it. The stream must have lied. I did not see him get grabbed by the.
Yeah, I'm sure if you
Spider
ask him
Slam.
after the race, he'll tell you it was planned that way.
Alrighty. So it sounds like if that growling wasn't even happening in that T-mote room, we know Ganon is above him. But there's also this way here. So perhaps he can go up and to the left and find him that way. Well, there's no door to the left, so that's going to be the case. Maybe he was going to try to get to it from above, but there's no door to the left there either.
The good news is there are red wizrobes in this room, so that he has a chance at a bomb drop to bomb in.
This is true. However, they are being rather uncooperative when it comes to getting into a place where they will be conducive to being murdered.
No dice on the bomb drop, though.
Nope.
Mad Bomber is once again trying to get over to that right side of level 1, where the silver arrows are at.
Spend his one key here. He's going to be spending it wisely, though. Because he will find something rather delightful here. There it is. So silver's now for Mad Bomber. Unfortunately, no bow. That was in level 3, if I recall correctly. So he'll need to get that from there. Oh. Alrighty, yeah, jkoper taking his time to beat down on these wizrobes here, hoping to get some bombs. Nobody discovered the book. We didn't see where it is, so unfortunately, unless Mad Bomber discovers it, or if it just happens to be an item here in 9 that jkoper stumbles across, we will never understand what people have been saying.
Yes, Chad, I did notice that. I just ignored the pun.
Alrighty, so jkoper, I believe, is going to be going and looking for some bombs. I think he knows at this point that at least to get to Ganon, he's going to need to have a decent amount.
Well, he correctly identified what part of the count he was on. So he went and killed a red Octorok on the screen over, and then came back to the blue Octorok, because bombs will only drop on specific numbers of your consecutive count.
Right.
So kind of knowing where you are in terms of how many kills you've had since you last took a hit or last reset is big in finding a way to manufacture bombs so that you can get through levels easier. So here all he has to do is try and get through. Nope, never mind. I was going to say all he has to do is pop up.
Okay. So it won't be that easy. Perhaps he just has to bomb in from a different direction. So we're going to see him go up, I guess, 2 rooms here, and then try bombing from the left side and see if he can awaken the beast from there. Oh, oh. That's not his way in either. Oh, goodness. All right. Can he bomb left? The answer is no. Oh, man. Well, so much for that plan. He's just going to have to find another way to get to Ganon.
It's rare that there's a magical staircase instance in the middle of the map, but it's starting to kind of build up that way with how few bomb holes are opening up to the left there. Yeah. And he wanted to transport for once and actually got the flute. How funny is that?
Hey, you never know if something's Dig Dogger blocked in here, right? Right, guys?
Yeah. No. Once the game broke.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to take his time to go down to get that item. And I don't blame him. Does have only one bomb left, though. He's got to be judicious with this.
I'm not sure if we found Zelda yet, but I would have been interested to see what that room had. And he used his last bomb and got nothing for it.
No avail, yeah. I don't recall seeing a room where all enemies were killed and the shutter door did not open. So, not sure. Ah, that was it. That room he just left. He killed all the enemies in there. The door did not open. So that is where Zelda is. She's in... Yeah, she's in the northwest quadrant of the skull. Fairly close to the... more closer to the center.
Yeah, it looks like third column, third row for Zelda's room this seed.
Yeah. Well, might as well pick that up. So the recorder and the magical wand were our level 9 items. But considering that he only has a wood sword, that magical wand will A, not only do more damage than his wood sword, but B, doesn't cost rupees to shoot things, unlike his silver arrows. So I'd say that's a win-win. All the way over on the right side of this map. He knows he does not need to be over here.
The wand in this specific 9 is not going to have the greatest payout because it doesn't really hit your Wizrobes that you want to kill, and the Pulse Voices take so long to kill with just the wood sword and the wand hitting a consecutive time.
Right. Yeah. For a lot of enemies, it's going to be it's not going to be very ideal, certainly. But will you concede this, that there certainly were less useful items that he could have found there?
Yeah, let's just try to sneak a peek at Mad Bomber's stream to see if I could see if he maybe mismarked that he picked up the ladder in this dungeon that he's back in again.
Oh yeah, boy, he's back into 2. We already know that there is nothing left for him to find here when he's trying to use bombs to kill these land molas.
And I think the easiest way that I would try and get to Ganon at this point would be to try and bomb north from the room just to the left of the blue Wizrobe T room. He's starting to get on the other side of the pig, though, so maybe possible to bomb down here.
Maybe he'll find a roundabout way. He's clearing his way through with some bombs. This room has gone dark. There it is. Alrighty, so jkoper now face to face with Ganon. With the wooden sword, he is going to have to hit him 16 times. And it looks like we have got a nice little stun lock going here. That was about 8 by my count.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see him let it go. He's pretty good with the stun lock.
There it is. Easy peasy. Ganon is down. Oh, it's 15 hits. My apologies. How about this? In the vicinity of 16. Oh, boy. Zelda right there. And that is it.
Rip the
jkoper
sub-hour
has...
dream by 6 seconds.
Oh, so jkoper has done. His official SRL time was 1 hour, 0 minutes, and 6 seconds. So, chat, get your GGs out for Trogdor. jkoper indeed victorious here, so he will go to 1-0 in this first week of the Swiss round, and madbomberxx on the other side of that will drop to 0-1. And let's see if maybe we can bring jkoper in for a bit of an interview. I definitely would like to get some of his thoughts on his seed here in his first race of the tournament. Meanwhile, we've got Mad Bomber, who is still spending some time here in level 2. He's got a heart container, at least. No point in killing that Gibdo, though. He's already got the item here.
And unfortunately, it looks like Mad Bomber is just going to call it at this point.
And yes, there it is. Mad Bomber has indeed done a dot forfeit. So, but give some love to madbomberxx. He had some good things going there. Got some items he needed, but unfortunately, he seemed to be spending too much time in places that he didn't need to, and just lagged behind. So, but that's okay. It's only the first week of this Swiss round, which is going to consist of 5 weeks. So 0-1 is not a death knell. It's just it just means you got to work a little harder to get to where you need to be to get into the playoffs. So, I don't know if we're going to be having jkoper joining us here for an interview.
It looks like both are going to try and jump on in here.
Oh, they are?
So
Okay.
we'll see if we can get him in.
Okay. I see jkoper here. Let's see if we can't get him on air with us. Drag him in. There we go. And jkoper has joined us here in commentary. So, jkoper, GG on your week 1 victory here. How do you feel?
Sorry, I had to move my mic there.
That's okay.
I would say mostly relieved.
Why do you say relieved?
Just because I went 0-2 to start my other 2 tournaments, and I'm getting a little sick of doing poorly in tournaments.
Well, you did anything but poorly in this seed. You were just a whisker away from getting this seed done in less than 1 hour. How do you just give me your thoughts on the seed? How do you think the whole thing went? Just the whole flow of the seed.
I mean, I think it was a pretty easy seed for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to do too much digging for dungeons or the key items.
Yeah.
Like ladder and 2, silvers and 3. Where was the wait?
Yeah.
Where
No, I
was the
believe
bow?
the
silvers
bow.
were in 1.
Silvers were in 1. The bow was in 3. Yeah. So
Okay. Yeah.
very nice that the key items that you needed were in we're in dungeons where it's relatively easy to get the items.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mostly I'm not happy with how level 9 went. I probably should have forced more bombs. About that blue ring and then found the red ring, but that's kind of irrelevant. But I would have much rather had some bomb upgrades to buy.
Did you see any during the course of going through the dungeons?
No,
Okay.
they must have been probably in 5 and 7, I would guess.
I mean, during our discussion of what was going on, I think that was the only thing we really remarked on that gave you any trouble, was the fact that you did run out of bombs in 9. You knew where that pig was, and you so desperately wanted to get to him, but all the walls that you were bombing, were just not coming up your way. So
Yeah, it was starting to look like it might be a magic staircase, but instead it was just a really ridiculous path.
Yeah, you had to little convoluted there, but nice that that Ganon and Zelda were so close by, though.
Yeah,
and we
I
had
suppose.
and now we have Mad Bomber joining us here in chat. Mad Bomber, thank you for joining us. Give us your thoughts on how the seed went for you. Hello? Mad Bomber, we cannot hear. I see you lighting up, but I cannot hear you, unfortunately.
That's weird, because normally if someone lights up, I think they wouldn't have a mic problem or something. But
He said,
it must be a Discord setting or something.
yeah. So, jkoper, you are one of the preeminent players of Zelda 1, not only vanilla but rando as well. Give me your thoughts on what you think of the flags for these seeds, the flag set that we're using here for the Swiss round.
I think it's okay. I think I would have preferred 6 Triforces, maybe. I shouldn't really talk too much about the what I would change, because I would have had some say in it, but I didn't respond. So
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I think that there's definitely a higher luck component to these flags than it would be to a higher number of Triforces, or any number of little things that you could change, perhaps. But I think it's fun. I like that we're using some of the new options. I like the different entries and the levels, and really gives a new twist on something that was it got very familiar a long time ago, like a couple years ago at this point, the vanilla dungeons. So it's cool to see.
Yeah, good.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now, Mad Bomber. So thank you for joining us, and tell us about your thoughts on how this seed went for you.
Very interesting. The new changes completely threw me off.
How so?
Well, last time when I was, I've heard they were doing some modifications. The dark rooms, that threw me off at first. And then it just, the hit points. I haven't played a rando in a while, so I had a feeling jkoper was going to beat me regardless, because I'm just too rusty right at the moment.
Gotcha.
Well, so just to explain a little about what you just said there, the dark rooms are actually they've always been a part of Randomizer, but only if first, second, or mixed quest is on, and not the shapes. So maybe you've just gotten used to playing shapes, which we were definitely playing a lot of for a while. Hit points has of course been an option in the Randomizer for a very long time as well, but usually in the Swiss rounds or early rounds of the tournaments, we've had vanilla HP on for the enemies. But when we polled people for the flags that they wanted, which goes to show you that we did take into account a little bit what people wanted when we were setting up these tournament flags. By far the most popular option was ±2 HP. So I think that's why we just decided to start with that. It gives a little more variety for people start with, then I mean, it makes some enemies a little tougher for sure, but it also can let you one-hit kill enemies to get bomb drops and stuff. So
Yeah, Fury and I were belly aching over the fact that sometimes you have keys that your boomerang will just bounce right off of them, and that's never fun.
yeah, those fires were annoying until you started bombing them, and then everything was much better then.
Yeah, when in doubt, just throw bombs at them. Good strategy.
Yeah, but you gotta hope that they don't roll up on their HP at all, because they have 4 HP to begin with, so.
Sure.
Well, knowing for what I learned tonight, now I know what I'm getting into for the next round, so I'll have a little bit more practice in, and I'll be more ready.
I mean, but not to offend or anything, but I'm expecting to win this matchup as well. But I want you to try to come in prepared or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have time, if this is your first practice, whatever. At least next week you'll probably have a more winnable matchup. So you got some comfort now, and maybe you can get in some more practice before you have to do your race next week. You got a few days before we even get through next week.
And and to add to that, just to kind of hopefully this time will let you have a better feel of the flag sets and things that you should and shouldn't be doing that aren't going to burn up a lot of time and resources, so that you can kind of move through things more quickly. I mean, because the particularities of the flags definitely need to be kept in mind when you're making your way through. So if this is your first kind of jump into it, then hopefully it will your knowledge and your comfort with this format will only improve.
Oh yeah, like I said, jkoper, he's an awesome runner, and I knew I had my, chances, but I had to be spot on and just even keep up with him.
Yeah, I mean, and to that point, jkoper, I mean, you, like I said before, aside from the bombs giving you trouble in 9, you made this seed look very easy. I mean, you were just gliding from place to place. I mean, everything was coming up Millhouse for you. So it definitely was a great display of efficient maneuvering of a rando seed.
Yeah, but again, I would say it was an easy seed, and I just did my best to not make it look difficult. These are
mission accomplished.
Yeah, these are some crazy flags, and you're going to see times that might be under half an hour in them, or even you might see some seeds where the winning time for a good player might be an hour and a half or more. So,
yeah, I believe we've already got some winning times that are sub 50. So and that's just, I mean, this tournament is only 2-3 days old, so with plenty more matches to come. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you that there might just be a seed where people could just zoom through it in very short order. Absolutely.
Yeah, just to give you an example of the other race that was going on, I believe it just concluded, and it started an hour and a half before we started this one up.
Oh wow!
But it was bad though. You had like the ladder blocking 3 items and 2 Triforces, and the ladder was in kind of an awkward spot in the seed. You had to go into 9 to get some items, and that's what these seeds are about. Some of them you get all the items you need in some of the small dungeons. Other ones you have to go into 9, get an item to go out of 9, to go get an item to get back into 9 to finish the seed.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, the seeds can definitely be like that, but again, to kind of reiterate what I've said here, jkoper, you said this was an easy seed, and the way that you maneuvered through it displayed exactly that, if that's indeed how you feel about it. So, but yeah, so again, so GG on your victory, and for both you and for Mad Bomber, I wish you both luck in your matches next week. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up here?
I'm good. It was fun. It's like I said, it's a learning experience every time I go. So
Yeah.
good game, jkoper.
Yeah, good game. Thanks for getting back to me and helping us schedule this on quick notice. And thank you to Restream Commentary and Tracker for helping to put the Restream production together.
That's
in short order.
absolutely, yeah. And shout outs to Drunk Fox. He was the tracker for this match and was giving us some good updates and reminders in chat as well. So GG to Drunk Fox too. You did some great work here today. We very much appreciate it. So alrighty, well, gentlemen, thank you very much for the race and for joining us. And again, best of luck to you on your matches next week.
Thank you. Good game, guys. You guys all have a great night.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. All right. Well, that I think is just going to about do it for us here tonight. Fury, do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to say on the way out?
Nope, I'll go ahead and just take us on out of here.
All righty.
Suppose. So on behalf of the Speed Gaming Network and Speed Gaming 3, on behalf of Zelda, who helped us get the stream together this late at night, for Drunk Fox, Vandy Van, and myself, and both of our runners who you can give a follow to as well, I am Fury SK saying so long for now.
All right. Take care, folks.